The Disappearing Room. While traveling through Europe, Lisa and Mark were eager to experience the charm of small villages far from bustling cities. One evening, they found themselves in a quiet town with cobblestone streets and old stone buildings. As darkness fell, they stumbled upon a quaint, old hotel tucked into the corner of the village square. The hotel had a rustic, almost forgotten charm, with ivy creeping up its stone walls and dim lanterns flickering outside. Inside, the air smelled of aged wood and faintly of lavender, and the receptionist, a frail, elderly woman, greeted them warmly. "We're lucky to have one room left," she said with a gentle smile, handing them a key attached to a heavy brass tag marked with the number 7. The couple followed the creaking wooden stairs up to their room on the top floor. The room was cozy, with antique furniture, a wooden dresser, a canopy bed draped in thick crimson curtains, and an ornate mirror that covered most of one wall. The mirror immediately caught Lisa's attention. It was massive, its frame intricately carved with swirling floral patterns, but something about it felt off. As she stared at it, she felt a strange chill run down her spine. Mark noticed her unease. "It's just an old mirror," he said, brushing it off with a laugh. Later that night, Lisa woke up feeling uneasy. The air in the room felt colder than before, and the flickering light from the bedside lamp cast eerie shadows across the walls. She glanced around and noticed the mirror again. This time, something was different. In the reflection, their room didn't look the same. It appeared worn and abandoned. The walls in the mirror were peeling, the furniture looked decrepit, and the crimson curtains were faded and torn. Worse, there was no sign of her or Mark in the reflection, only the empty, decaying room. Heart pounding, Lisa shook Mark awake. "Look at the mirror," she whispered, her voice trembling. Mark, still groggy, sat up and turned to the mirror. But by the time he focused on it, the reflection had returned to normal. Everything seemed perfectly fine. Their cozy room, the polished furniture, and even the curtains looked as they should. "You were probably just dreaming," Mark said, trying to calm her down. But Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The next morning, they went down to the reception to check out. Lisa, still troubled by what she had seen, decided to ask about the mirror. "There was something strange about our room," she said hesitantly. "The mirror. Do you know if it's special in any way?" The receptionist's expression changed, confusion and concern flickering across her face. "Room 7?" she asked. Lisa nodded. "That room hasn't been used in years," the receptionist said quietly. "It's been closed off because of incidents. Are you sure you stayed there?" Lisa and Mark exchanged bewildered glances. "Yes, we stayed there last night. You gave us the key," Mark said, holding up the brass tag. The receptionist stared at the key in disbelief. "That key shouldn't exist. The door to that room was sealed years ago." Determined to make sense of what was happening, the couple insisted on going back upstairs with the receptionist. They climbed the creaking stairs once more, this time feeling a growing sense of dread. When they reached the top floor, the hallway felt colder and darker than before. The receptionist led them to where room 7 should have been, but instead of a door, they found a dusty, boarded-up wall. Cobwebs clung to the wooden planks, and it was clear no one had entered that room in years. Lisa and Mark stood frozen in disbelief. "But we stayed here," Lisa whispered, her voice barely audible. "We slept in that room. It was real." The receptionist shook her head slowly. "I don't know what to tell you," she said softly. "This room has been sealed ever since. Well, ever since the previous guests disappeared without a trace." A shiver ran down Lisa's spine as she remembered the eerie reflection in the mirror. Mark tried to reason it out, but no explanation seemed to fit. The couple left the hotel haunted by what they had experienced. To this day, they wonder what really happened that night. Did they slip into some parallel version of the hotel, Was the room a gateway to another realm? And what would have happened if they had stayed another night? No one knows for sure, but locals still whisper about the old hotel and the strange occurrences surrounding Room 7. Some say the room only appears to those it chooses, and once you enter, you're never truly free of its grasp.